It's time now for Around the County. Around the County is brought to you on WBRT by Joe Hill's Power Sports and Outdoor Equipment and by Area 1 Realty. Around the County with Nelson County Judge-Executive Tim Hutchins and guests. And we have one with us today. But good morning first to you, Judge.
Good morning, Roth. We've got with us the Mayor of Fairfield, Mr. Reed Marksberry. And we'll get into some questions for Mr. Marksberry here after a while and comments and things. And like I said, we've had, I think I've had Linda Mattingly, the Mayor of New Haven, on. And then, of course, Reed be here today. And then I'll work on the other two mayors eventually, and we'll have them on. So, again, 348-2222 is our number. They can call and or text 348-2222 and ask any questions that you want. No substance or really no, I guess, particular subject. One thing I do want to say is, I'll say for our two sponsors is Joe Hill's Power Sports, thank them, and Area 1 Realty, I want to thank them for sponsoring the show and make it possible. We'll follow up from last week a little bit, if you don't mind. Our court meeting is not, what is today, Roth? You asked me earlier. We moved it from our next fiscal court meeting. Let me get my dates right here. Typically would be tonight at the 19th. And we moved it, at our last meeting, we voted to move it to the 26th. Okay. So everybody will know that. So it would actually be a special meeting. And then we'll go back. We had some things we have to discuss, and time-wise, advertising and all that, we had to move our date. It will be at the library on the 26th at 6 p.m. So we'll get that cleared up. I had a gentleman last week call about Yates Cooney Neck, and it's been, it's a long road. I think it's probably, I don't know how many miles it's on, but the rest of that will be blacktop. It's already been sent in as a PO, so that would be blacktop if the Mago gets to it this year. Spencer Mangley,
unknown caller,
Road, and Philiatru Lane Road, and Daisy Lane.
I'll take that out.
Going out to where they meet 605. I've got those turned in there so they can get the bush hogging or the boom mower out to clear up where people first visibility. Had a gentleman talking about on Woodline Road, there's a curve there where that's kind of hard to see around. I've got that turned in. Murray's Run Road, talking about striping. I have not got that authorized exactly yet, but I'm working on it. And McIntyre Lane, the potholes. I'm not sure if they got those done, but we are going to look at chip seal on that road too. So we got to get the equipment ready, and I talked about all this last week. So kind of give them an update from people, so I'll try to watch it and make sure I don't miss anything. But anybody can call anytime and ask any questions. So that's kind of an update where I'm at this week. We've still got a lot of stuff going on. Our crews are working actually overtime right now on the road department to try to get ahead because there's just a lot of projects going on. So Mr. Marksberry, I always called him Reed. We go back several years, and we actually did some work together because he was in contracting business as I was before. So, Reed, glad to have you here, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I know you probably got some stuff you want to talk about, or?
Well, I'm just going to kind of say a few things about what we've done in the past, well, since I've been in office, over the 22.
You took office in January of 23.
23.
As I did, so you've been in about 2.5 years.
Yeah. About a year and a half to go.
Year and a half to go.
Anyway, we repaired some street signs, and we done kind of redid the City Hall parking lot. Thanks to IMI, they furnished half the block, and we paid for half of them. And we had the money that came from the COVID and it was $10,000, and the past administration had put it in the general account, and we didn't know it was in there. It kept showing up on the financial report that it was over in the other one. So anyway, we found all that out, and the council decided to put up a pavilion. So we built a pavilion, and it came right at, of course we had a lot of donations. Quality Stone donated a load of rock, and had some guys that poured the concrete. They done that on what it cost, and so we got that, pretty much free. And had a guy there in town. He donated the dirt we put around it, and they got the sod over to Crane sod over to Spencer County or Shelbyville. He got two places. And we got all that done. Looks good. And we went ahead and had it wired. We had some plugs put in it. So they have something that they needed electric. Well, they got it there. And then, of course, we had our annual cleanup for the homecoming. And they sent some of the inmates over there and swept up the streets, cleaned everything up real good. And then, of course, we removed the tree. We thank the judge for that. Helped get that thing moved. It was a old walnut tree and stood right on the side of the street. Covered the street up every year with walnuts. You couldn't walk. So we cut that thing down, got it cut down, and then we had when I first took office, they had an old tree on the City Hall grounds, and they had, somebody had planted in memory of Mr. Ferris, and that thing had done got shabby, nobody took care of it. Trees done growed up in it. I tried to get them to take it down before that, and they wouldn't do it. They said, oh, that's in memory of somebody. So when I took office, that's the first thing we did. Judge, he sent us a dumpster over there, and we got rid of that thing right quick. And looks a whole lot better without that thing. And we did adopt a nuisance ordinance, and we got that done. Of course, like I say, we placed street signs, several of them missing, and then we sealed got the park and ride lot. We got it sealed, and that night it came a rain, worst half of it off. But anyway, the county road department took care of that for us, and appreciate them for that. And when we built the pavilion, we made a couple of tables and put in there, great big tables where nobody, no food, two people gonna pick them up and carry them off. But and then we're working with Brad Metcalf on a project on the city park. I don't know how far along we got on that yet. I haven't talked to Brad for a while. And of course we did the picnic table, and then we repainted the old jail, inside and out, and got it looking pretty good. And
what do you use the old jail for now? Is it more of a
we lock you up if you got bad enough. No, we just use it for storage.
Okay.
And they use it during homecoming. They put some artifacts in there, you know, and make it look pretty good. But
you know, our first year in office, my first year in office, I worked with Reed, and we had our inmate crew go over and pressure wash the jail, and then help paint it and so on. And so the county's been working with Fairfield on a lot of projects, like he said, and some of those were done in unified effort with us and the inmates, and we now have what we call an interlocal agreement with Fairfield. Some of that wasn't just on make sure our files and everything's updated, even picking up the countywide garbage and bulky item pickup. We do the city of Fairfield. I don't know how many residents you have, but prior to that there was not any documentation, so we got all that written up and done the proper way to make sure everybody was doing things in their lawful way. And so we've got an agreement with them, and we try to work hand in hand with them, and we allocated some ARPA fund money, and I don't know exactly how much it was. Like say some of the streets and curbs, clean up the curbs, painted a lot of the curbs, and help with some of the ditches, and y'all filled that parking lot up like he said earlier, and it's really made a big improvement over there. It's really helped out a lot, and we still got some more to do. We're going to try to apply for some grant money that we may have already done for some maybe some playground equipment, and so trying to spruce things up. It was kind of it was some things needed some attention. Let's put it that way. Just trimming, like say trimming the trees, raising your canopies up, and just the weeds, the bushes, weed eating, and all the cleaning up. This helps out a lot. So there's a lot more to do. I think on the blacktop, I have to remember what street it was over there. You had a street until we got to be
on West First Street.
Yeah.
You blocked off that, put in new culvert in there, and then we put in a new culvert on Church Street, and it was bad. So
yeah,
they replaced two culverts, blacktopped that one street. We got another street we need to get blacktop, or a section of it anyway, and that's part of Church Street, and runs from Mary's Run Road down to the church.
Right. Yeah.
We need to try to get that done if we can, because it's getting in bad shape. People driving off in the grass. Just pretty bad shape. But I think the judge and the county road department, they've helped us out a whole lot, done a whole lot for us. Whenever we I call over and talk to the judge, and don't have no trouble getting anything done. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, what we talked about was just like Linda down at New Haven, and we try to make sure we had a priority to help the whole county, all over, and it's worked out pretty good. So we've got more to do. Like say our team, like I said earlier, not to criticize our guys that's working hard, but and part of the problem is me, because I've given them a lot of stuff to do, and thank goodness we can get most of it done, but we are behind on some things because they just don't have enough time in the day. Plus, I'm running 2 boom mowers. I don't think I talked about that last week. Right now we're running 2 boom mowers trying to get these roads cleaned back because of all the rain we've had in the spring. Everything's just overgrown. Entrances like these people called, and I encourage them to call anytime, let us know in case we miss anything, because you can miss it and we don't have enough time to go out and just look every day. So we're going to probably end up running 3 boom mowers here soon. I talked to Brad Spalding, our engineer, this morning, and one thing I want to let everybody know is the big parking lot at the senior center, in front of the senior center, we know we've got that cleared and striped and sealed. So the remainder of the parking lot in front of what I call the new big courthouse, Justice Center, they've got it all prepped and ready to go. So Thursday, let's see, let me think about this. Today they're out there cleaning up some more. We've pressure washed and removed all those curbs. We tore out a lot of old landscaping that was overgrown. We will start Friday as far as sealing, and so about 3 or 4 or 5 days there, it's going to be some inconvenience, and we let everybody know that, and we'll put up some. But when we get done with that, we're going to seal that whole parking lot and stripe it, and then this fall we'll come back and landscape it, re-landscape it. And all that was paid for by the state when I got all that approved. It took me about a year to get it approved, but the ALC, Administrative Courts, is paying for all the material, and we're providing the labor with the road crew and the inmate crew. And so when we get that done, I think people that really keeps up with the aesthetics and trying to beautify the county, and that's another one that was kind of it was an eyesore. And I'm trying to get that coordinated when they get the Veterans Park done. I think I said it before. When they get theirs completed and we get that done, it's really going to look really nice out there and very professional. But it's just a lot of coordination. It's going to be a little bit inconvenient for a few days, but I don't think it'll be too bad. So you'll see a lot of stuff going on out there. Our guys is really putting a lot of time in there. So that's kind of what we're doing there. Like I say, Fairfield, New Haven, we've done work in Bloomfield. We've coordinated with their inmate crew, Jailer Justin Hall, and the road department's got a very good communication. And we've got some, I think like a lot of days we'll send 2 inmates into the city of Bardstown to help them out too. So it's been really good so far. So we still got more to do. You got 1.5 years to get it done. And I don't want to forget, Roth, your lovely wife, Lisa. I told this last week because you see it on that camera. She made my own special glass. Nelson County Judge-Executive Tim Hutchins.
We have to get Mayor Marksberry one now.
We have to get him one now.
We are here on Around the County and with Judge-Executive Tim Hutchins. It's a Tuesday show, and it's all made possible by a couple of civic-minded entities, Area 1 Realty and Joe Hill's Power Sports and Outdoors. Here's a message from them, and we'll be back. We're back with Around the County with Judge-Executive Tim Hutchins and Mayor of Bloomfield, Mr. Reed Marksberry.
Fairfield.
I got the wrong field again.
Got the field.
And when you said homecoming, I remember we advertised the Fairfield homecoming each year, and I remember talking about the jail.
Yeah.
Reed, how many years you been in Fairfield?
Huh?
How many years have you been in Fairfield?
I've been in Fairfield 22. About 22 years.
So was the jail open? Did you ever make a visit to the jail?
No, I never did make a visit. Back when I was a teenager, seen a lot of crap games back there behind it.
Oh yeah, you were probably in them, involved.
I never did get in them. I never had no money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure you got a raise now since you become mayor. Now you got a raise, you got a lot of money, so.
But Mayor, the cooperation between the county government and your city gets a lot of things done that you might not be able to get done either at all or quickly if you didn't have that cooperation and that communication.
That's right. That is right.
Well, there's a lot of things, like I say, even us on the county, when we started the inmate program, there's a lot of projects that we do that saved a lot of money by doing some of the things we were paying people to do. You've heard me in my report. But then we have several projects that we continue to do, like Fairfield and Bloomfield and New Haven. We use them on the bulky item and just cleaned up cemeteries and so many things that people call. I think over in Fairfield, those tree trimming, cleaning up some signs, installing some signs, and painting the curbs and so on. I mean, just all those little things add up, and it takes so much time to do. Like Fairfield, they don't have any staff. You don't have any employees, do you?
No.
0 employees. Everything they do is basically volunteers, and volunteers. If everybody's working, they're limited on their time. So it's been a really good, I think, good relationship, and we continue You know, the nuisance, he's got some, what I call the nuisance ordinance that we've got in place that we have never, it's been on the books for years. I met with Vanessa yesterday. She takes care of the nuisance office side for me now, and she has a couple guys that's working part-time. This time of year, especially with Johnson grass and grass growing up to the highs of the ceiling, and you get a lot of complaints, and there is one on the books, and it's the law. So we try to work with people to help them and work with them, get them cleaned up. Some of it is when it comes down to what I just call junk. Some people may say it's treasure, but when you're devaluating your neighbors' homes and you've got a lot of rodents and snakes and grass and junk and trash blowing, it's a problem, and that's why the law's on the books. And I've got a problem with it personally. I don't like it. I think it's disrespectful to your neighbors, and some people disagree with me, and that's fine. But that's why we got it on the books for. So we have worked with Reed and tried to clean up some over there. Some of it, when it has to come under the planning zoning office, if it's zoned a commercial entity, that's where it becomes a little bit tricky on the lawful side. And we've continued to work with that. We've got, I don't know how many we've got actually in court right now, and we're working on trying to improve that process a little more. We've done a bunch. I'd have to get a report to say exactly how many we have had agreements with the people to do it and get them cleaned up, but we've still got a lot more to do, and we will continue to work with that. And I know two over there that needs some work on, and we're going to be working with him trying to get that accomplished.
We lost a historical place there in Fairfield this past last year I guess. Henry McKenna's distillery burnt down, and I remember when I was a kid, we used to go up there and get water to sit tobacco with, and I used to go up there and walk through that thing while they was in operation. Had them big tanks up there, and walk around through there. It was a big operation back in that day. Had a lot of people hard, and but it burnt this past year, and we gotta try to get it cleaned up. It's kind of done turned into an eyesore, and we need to get that cleaned up.
Was part of that, people lived in part of that?
Yeah.
I remember that from the news story. Yeah.
That's correct.
There was 2 apartments in there, and they said electrical started it.
Yeah.
Wasn't nobody in the apartments. But anyway, we lost that, and we need to get that cleaned up. And anyway,
one thing you said, Reed, you was talking about y'all used to go in it and get water.
Yeah.
But it's a distillery. Did you go in it and get anything else?
No, I didn't get nothing else. They piped that across the road and put it in barrels over across the road. And then I think there was 4 warehouses there. Yeah, I can remember Tom Elder bought all that when they sold out. I think it was Seagram's owned it, I think.
I think so too.
Huh?
I think it was.
Yeah, Seagram's owned it. I don't know why they shut it down. Probably on account of the creek run through there, and it probably had something to do with the EPA. I don't know. But anyway, they used to pipe after they made it. They piped it across the road. And that thing that's runs across the road still standing there. And I tried to get LG&E or KU to take it down, and they won't touch it. And they say it sits on the state where it sits on. And we started taking it down one time. I had an old crane truck. We started taking it down, but we never did get around to it. So it might have been the best thing we didn't. We might have tore up no telling what. But anyway, Fairfield Homecoming this year, they made a pretty good success, and a lot of people. Had a lot of yard sales, and everything went pretty good. And they had a band there, Ronnie Harden and Kevin Turrell. They was there last year and this year too. And of course they had the car show, and they had a girl that did face painting. Can't think of what her name was. But another thing I want to mention is we've got a firehouse in Fairfield now, and of course Marshall Tingle's one donated the land to build that on. Of course he's done passed away, but we appreciate him doing that. And of course it's like that thing she had on there a while ago about that fire in Fairfield where that girl sits at a fire. They was there in just a matter of minutes, and they were there and got it put out. Didn't hurt the house too bad. The fire department done more damage, but they have to get it put out, you know. But
yeah, Bloomfield Fire Department built a satellite, firehouse over in Fairfield, and it's really nice. And I forget the number when I talked to Ted Shields when they had their grand opening and things. I've been over there 2 or 3 times, and they had a lot of volunteers, and I forget what their budget number was, but they did it. That was, and if you fast forward till today, it would probably be double, the cost. So that's really good for that whole area, not just Fairfield, but that whole area, and ultimately at the end of the day, it helps keep the insurance rates down also. That's one of the big pluses in those cases. In most cases, it does. So it's good for that end of the community for sure. One thing also, before I forget it, I want to talk about not Fairfield. It's unrelated, but Buttermilk Days is coming up, and I think that starts as a Thursday or Friday. Mm-hmm. Usually they kind of kick off on Thursday, and definitely on a Friday and Saturday. So. And that's got to be a big event. So the team that I've talked to Kevin Rogers about it and Bill Shekels individually about some of the things they do in there. And they've got I think the booths and everything, they've had more than they've ever had. So it's been it's grown and grown and grown. So it's another event that they have, and let people know they want to come out and try to. Hopefully the weather's not going to be too hot. I'm not sure what the temperature's going to be.
And we'll have Bill and Kevin, one or both, or maybe others tomorrow morning on the radio to 8 o'clock to talk more about it. So.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to let people know to come out and try to enjoy it.
Speaking of events, this one was just concluded, and county government got a compliment that for the movie night, which was this past Saturday night, I believe, at the farmers market here in town, but cooperation of the city, county, the Green Dot program, and others made that happen. Got a compliment here. Yeah,
it was good. I went to that and had, I think we got over 200 people and kids and families, and more of the younger generation to that event. It was really good. First time we've done one, and we're going to try to, like I said before, every quarter we're going to try to be doing some things, different things. And Catherine Masterson, or Catherine Beavers now, that works with the fiscal court, she headed that up with Misty Roller at the Green Dot. Mm-hmm. And then we had several sponsors. And if I don't mention any of them, because I know I'm going to miss one, so I'm not going to mention them all, but I do know fiscal court. We coordinated that thing, got it all started, and we had several people come in, and definitely want to thank the city of Bardstown for letting us, allow us to go down there and shut that street down, and it worked out really good. A lot of good compliments out of that. And it was hot. It was really hot, and probably would have had even a bigger crowd. But there's several events going on. We had throughout the day, the city of City Fire Department had an event that afternoon or that morning. I went there for briefly, and they had a drill where they got their training station, the smoke and everything. Some people's going to see, and that's pretty neat, and how they had that set up, and they had some food there. And then the county fire department at the fairgrounds, they had a dinner and lunch for people that all the emergency departments. Had a pretty good crowd there. I went out there for a while, and then back at downtown for this one. And then I know there were several other events. The Guthrie Center had their farm to table, so I couldn't make that one because I had the other one. And then there's stuff going on all the time, but that was really neat downtown. That turned out really good. So there's
one thing we did have old Fairfield last fall, and we're probably going to try to have it again this year. Well, what we call the Fairfield Hayride.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the children, we had it for the community, but mainly for the town kids, And we had several show up, had a good time, had some popcorn, and I think they had some country ham there from over at ASCS office or something. Some of them people put that on. So it turned out real good. But getting back to the Fairfield homecoming, the St. Michael's Church, they had a tour up there. You could go up and go through. I don't know what they did. I didn't go up there, but anyway, old Jerry Hahn, he had his horse and buggy. He about run the old horse to death.
Well, somebody had just texted in and wanted ask about what did Jerry Hahn.
Yeah.
Horse and buggy for the.
Yeah, that's what he had, a horse and buggy.
Yeah.
He does that every year. He does it on donations.
Mm-hmm.
And but what I want to explain to them about the Fairfield homecoming, it's not for the city of Fairfield. Everybody thinks it's for the city of Fairfield, but it's for the Fairfield Cemetery.
Right.
And all the money proceeds goes to the Fairfield Cemetery.
Right.
If they make any money, they have to furnish everything. They have their own money. They have to furnish everything, and they do it on donations. Blend Pack, they made a big donations they make a big donation every year, and appreciate that. And she gets 2 or 3 other donations. Mary Ellen Marquis, she's the head of that. She does a real good job. Has a lot of old pictures of both people, and she has a whole city hall decorated in pictures. And from the past. All the way back to the 1800s, I guess. But
well, I understand next year she's going to make you dress up in 1800s apparel, and
yeah,
like they have Lincoln Days. They make everybody dress up as.
She has a lot of pictures of colored people, and the old horses and mules. And it's real something to look at.
Well, the Baptist church there, what is it, First Baptist? The one up in Fairfield.
Yep.
I've been up there several times, and they had their cemetery celebration.
Yeah.
They had it there this year because instead of at the cemetery, I've been several years, just recognizing people what they do for the cemetery, trying to beautify it. So they had it at the church this year, and I went to that. Had a pretty good crowd, and people. There's a lot of support. Like Reed said, it's not just for the city, but it's like all of our towns and cities and communities. You've got not necessarily a city, but there's all kinds of communities around. Got there, you take New Hope's not a city, and Balltown's not a city, Culvertown's not a city, and Cox Creek's not a city, and Chaplin, and I know I'm going to leave somebody out, Botland, all these places. They've got, some people's got a passion, and a lot of it's related to, usually in some cases, a church may be there, and so they have a lot of celebrations and picnics and so on, and it's pretty good. People we're trying to get more and more stuff to do for the families and kids and teenagers, and that's what the fiscal court's trying to do on our end with this. When we had this thing up here Saturday, is I guess the central point of it all is when me and the fiscal court and my team is, we've got some opioid money through the settlements, so we're trying to utilize that money to provide things for the families and steer the mentality and let them know about drug use, and try to fight the drug epidemic. And every time you do a little bit and get into school systems and families, let them know. And I know they hear it and hear it and hear it, and I tell my kids and grandkids, and they hear it and hear it and hear it. But and I'm not a professional at it, but I do think one thing is you got to come up with some new things all the time and let them know. Because if they hear the same message every single day, it kind of goes in this here one out the other one. So you got to come up with a different message, and that's what we're trying to do, and try to focus with team up with Flagey Hospital has been a very good partner in this so far, and then of course in the school systems I'm working with Operation Unite. I'll be working with them again, and that's another big organization to come in and help us in the school system. So it just takes it just takes a lot of people and get the message out.
Judge, we have a call, somebody, or text, somebody wants to know, so they live on Manton Road, and I think they heard you earlier talking about using booms to clean the roadsides.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking if you put Manton Road on that.
Yeah, I don't know if the Manton Road, I'd have to get that, but yes, I'll look into that too. What I'm doing on these roads, I mean, I'm just going to be real clear on our bush hogging. We bush hog, I'm talking about County Road, just 300 and something miles of it. We're in our fourth cutting. You got the regular bush hogging. Then we've got now 2 boom mowers that comes in and does the trees and the sides and the entrances. And I just started, I've directed our people now to start doing what I call the entrances of the roads, going out further out on the state roads, mostly state, that when they can see the visibility, it's all about safety. Right. And so, we bought a new boom mower. It's $200 and some thousand to get that. Well, then we had some trouble with that. Then we kind of resurrected our old boom mower, and it was running hot and so on without getting into detail. So and it's old and wore out. But we're going to get it, and we've got it going. And I'm going to get the third one, and we're going to, after I've told them, we're going to whatever starting point it is, we're going to hit every road, end to end, and get them cut back and cleared back because of all the weather we've had, all this rainy weather in the spring and back in early spring, late winter, everything's just overgrown, and it's hard to catch up. So we're going to get caught up, and then once we get caught up with our new boom mower, I think we can stay on top of it. So it's a safety thing mainly, as far as the entrances goes for sure. And then, but I can prove that it'll save money long term on the blacktop. The lifespan will last longer because it takes the shade away, you get more sunlight, that it dries the roads out quicker, and the salt that you put on in the wintertime. So we may spend a little bit more money on the front end, but it'll save us money on the back end, plus save lives on the entrances. So I'm really focused on that, and that's very important to me. And as you can see when you ride and look and travel these back roads, which I do, it's a big deal. And signs, street lights, we can get into all that again, but it's life safety things is what we're working on as much as anything else. And so, but Mr. Marksberry here, like I say, he's hit the ground running when he came in trying to get some things Bloomfield, and technically, and I know they didn't have the financial resources, and that's why we've teamed up with them to help try to get some things done. We allocated some of the ARPA money that was left to help on some of those projects because we can't legally financially spend county money in a city unless there's it's got to be all documented and everything's got to be approved, and you're very limited on what you can do. Plus, we don't have a lot of money left over. I'm working with Secretary Lewis, Bobby Joe in Frankfort. She's been very good with a good relationship with her as far as what the county and the bridges and the extra blacktop money that we're doing. And I'm working trying to get that one street that you said, I forget the name of it, I got it wrote down. See if we can get some of that money.
Getting back to the Fairfield homecoming, it was started in 1995. That's when they had the first one. It skipped 1 year, 2001, on kind of the COVID, and but it's every Saturday after Father's Day, and it's when they have it every Saturday in June after Father's Day.
So that's 30 years, right?
Huh?
Is that right?
Yeah,
30 years.
Yeah. And I'm afraid it's coming to a close because a lot of them have passed on. It's helped work it, and the younger ones, they don't jump in there like, you know how that is. But anyway.
So you need some new energy and new people and some more younger families get involved. And that's, when you go to some of these clubs, I was out talking with your clubs and different ones over the last, you see it. And as people getting older and passing away, and we got to get the younger ones more involved to be on these different clubs and committees. And
the history on Fairfield, it was established January the 30th, 1818, and it was called Turkey Town. And they got it incorporated in February the 22nd, 1870. And it's had a post office in there ever since. And where City Hall is now, where it used to be, it was a bank to start out with. And then they put the post office in there. I remember when the post office was in there, Miss Bixley, she run it. And she was very true to the postal service. And
Mayor, Fairfield has no employees.
No.
So no police.
Well, we got a guy. We just pay him. He's contracted to mow the grass.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all we got. We don't have no employees. The mayor don't get paid. Nobody gets paid. So. It's a volunteer basis.
Yeah. You got that cost of living increase. You guys, you pay nothing. You got 3% of nothing.
I've been in business for 30 years, or was in business.
Yeah.
And I had, a lot of contacts. Yeah. And I ain't afraid to ask them for nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't ask for the parts, And all
I kind of figured that out pretty quick.
Huh?
I learned that real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the hardest, somebody told me this other day in a meeting, we was sitting around and it said the hardest two things to do, and I didn't realize it because it's not that hard for me to do, but hardest two things to do is tell somebody no, and the second hardest thing to do is ask for money.
Yep.
That's what they say. And of course, I don't try to say no very often, but I have been in a lot of fundraisers and tried to raise a lot of money and from a lot of different things and been, pretty successful, but depends on how you approach people and things. And I'm going to go back and clear one thing up. Manton Road, when I got looking at it, Manton Road was actually, if that's the road whoever called or texted earlier, is a state road. Now, again, we try to, the entrances on the state roads coming into county roads, and we're trying to help cut those back as much as we can. But as far as boom mowing an entire state road, we can't do it, and then we try to help isolated safety things when we can do it. But I'll get it turned in and try to get it moved up for whoever this caller or text was. Any more text, Roth?
Spin around real quick. The entrance of Hall Simpson Road is hard to see when trying to pull out.
Okay.
Hall Simpson Road, again, one of those visibility issues.
Yep.
As you've said, there's so many of them because we've had such a tremendous growing season and that's on Highway 49, it says. Yeah. Highway 49. So
We
kind of talking about that. We have a problem there in Fairfield with where you come out of Little Union Road on the Highway 48, which they call High Grove Road.
Yep.
They painted the curbs so they wouldn't park there. The state put up signs, don't amount to nothing. And when you're coming down Little Union Road, a lot of times you can't see.
Yep.
If you can't see to your right.
Unknown.
They parking out on the road, yeah.
we have a caller. I'll have to get our operations going here. And let's see if I can hit all the right buttons. And we say good morning. You're on the, hang on. There we go.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, Tim, I live down here on Domes Lane, and you know where Icetown and Nat Rogers meet at?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know the little church road right there?
Little church. Let me think about this a minute.
You know, right across from Domes Lane.
Right across. Okay, I got you.
There's a little church road right there. Comes out on Icetown Road, okay?
Okay.
The grass is screwed up. You can't see the stop sign hardly. And the trees and stuff, you can't hardly see to pull out of there.
That's coming off Domes Lane cross, and that's back out on coming out on Icetown Road.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then State Road right here where you pull out of the church road onto Nat Rogers and Domes Lane on the Nat Rogers. They need to trim them trees back if they can. Since you pass Domes Lane, it's over there on the right and the left.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to call them and they don't answer.
Who you trying to call?
Yeah, I try to call 8 or 9 times. They don't answer.
You didn't call me.
No, I know. I called it. I called the state for the state road department.
I understand. Yeah.
But I ain't never called you about this Church Road and Icetown Road right there. But it's hard to see pull out of there. And are they maybe filling some potholes up on the Church Road a little bit?
Well, if it's on these county roads, I mean, if there's potholes
well,
there.
It's a county road. Yeah,
if it's
county.
If it's got potholes in it, we'll definitely.
Well, if you look at it, you can see.
Yeah, I'll get all
right.
I'll get all that turned in. Yes, sir.
You've done a good job since you've been in there.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you for the call, and let's see. We got about 5 minutes left in today's show here on WBRT Radio. Let me get these headphones off real quick. He was saying Church Road. Is that the name of the road? I was thinking he was talking about a church's road.
Well, he said the little church road.
Okay.
And I think, I know where the Icetown and all that is down there. I have to get the guys to go there and look at it, and then it can get away from you really quick. And Roth, I'll tell you what, you got some guys painting in here and get this place. You were doing a little remodeling and cleaning up, but this paint's pretty strong.
You ought to be here all day.
And they putting some new carpet down,
Yeah.
and you got some new flooring down, and
Yeah,
that's
it's a little gets a little bit overwhelming, but we'll see the end soon. I may have to have the windows open for the next month or two.
And a lot of the older people died around Fairfield. A lot of young ones coming in, and they don't really understand what the Fairfield homecoming is.
Yeah.
And of course, like I said, it's kind of going to be dying out on kind of the health situation. And you're going to have it at least one more year. So they done made plans to have it one more year. So.
Mayor, what couple of things? What's the population?
I think it's 135.
135.
Yeah, that ain't very many, but.
And off the top of your head, the annual revenue, which would, I guess, just be from property tax?
Yeah, property tax.
Yeah.
Mainly, and then we get some kickback from LG&E and KU, and we get something from the county on where people get their license.
Mm-hmm.
We get so much money back off that.
Okay.
If they live, if they're in Fairfield, I guess that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeanette takes care of that part of it, but I don't know what your property tax revenue is exactly.
But it's same as the county.
It don't really. It's a rate 12. It'd be 12. Right now it's 12%. We're going to lower it to 11.8.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know what his total revenue is, but it takes a lot to get these young ones involved more and more. But it's been good. It's been good to work. I think our working relationship with all these communities has been really good, and I really like it and encourage it and try to move forward a little more. But it takes a lot. I mean, you get a list. I worked on it last night. Actually, when I left, Brad Spalding sent me a kind of funny. I call it a love note because most of them I just write things down real quick because I don't do a whole lot of this keyboard stuff. You've seen them.
Oh, yeah.
So I write them down as I'm thinking, and I write, and then I'll take a picture and I'll send it. I say, there's your love note for the day. And so that's what Brad. So he sent me a list, it may have been Friday or Saturday, and wanted me to prioritize, because all the love notes I have given him. And so we had them listed. And I said, and I thought to myself, there's no way we're going to get to all these things. He wanted me to prioritize them. I said, work overtime. So we got but there is a lot of stuff going on, and like you say, you see just like these calls on these roads and trying to get them opened up, and I try to keep everything as frugal and they do a good. We got better equipment, so we get more work done than we ever have done in a timely fashion. But at the end of the day, you got to have bodies, and we are short-handed. I think 1 or 2 there now, and we put these boom mowers out. We got to have these flaggers for safety. So,
well, before we go, update on Visitor Center, the courthouse.
We had a call, I think it was yesterday, and I'm anticipating them getting back in there and getting moving pretty quick, get started on it, and we hope and we think we'll still be ahead of schedule. The driver's license is, they say it's up in September, the new office, and that's made it really inconvenient for the public at the Career Center that we've had temporary, and our other staff we've had to move down there because of this. So, but waiting on the state, I hate to criticize them, but I am criticizing them. They should have had all their ducks in a row. We got all ours in a row, and we was ahead of schedule. So, working with FEMA, Brad Metcalf was working all over it yesterday on this public assistance and trying to finish up some individuals with people's. We still got some work to do there. It's been a lot going on, all this flooding and everything, and the roads. It's just a lot going on, but it's been everybody working together has been really good. So I want to thank Reed Marksbury, the city of Fairfield's mayor, for coming in today. And Reed, I want to personally thank you for getting things done over there for the community, and you call or help us anytime. Let us know when we need to do anything. I'll come to one of your meetings. I've been to 1 or 2. I need to come to one here soon. I always try to go around to some of the city council's meetings from time to time just to chat and let them know that I'm there and if we need anything. And
I appreciate you having me today.
And we want to, all right, you're welcome. And then Joe Hill's Power Sports and Area 1 Realty, we want to thank them for sponsoring this.
And we'll hear from them before we go. One final reminder, fiscal court will meet 1 week from today.
Right.
6 p.m. library.
That's correct.
1 week from today. And we've got a dedication of a bridge.
When is that? I don't know. It's
coming up on the news here.